Today I'm going to update you on the garden. I've been doing some weeding and just an overview of the garden, so I figure I'll do a short video of what I've been doing to stay busy. So here we go with that. It's finally time to harvest this cabbage. As you can see, it's a pretty nice size. I'm going to cut it out and I'll show you what it looks like. It's a pretty good cabbage that came from it. Really nice colors. As you can see, when you cut into it, it'll look really nice. As you can see, there's little baby cabbage growing here. I tried not to cut them, but it was really tough. There's more back here. You can see. So at least some of them will keep growing. I'm not sure if all of them will make it, but so I'm gonna let this plant keep growing and see what happens. Hopefully they'll get bigger. They won't get as big as the original one, but it looks pretty nice. This one's coming along nicely. So I'll probably harvest this one in a couple of weeks, hopefully. And so I just cut open the cabbage. Look at how beautiful it is. The colors are really nice. Gonna harvest some more broccoli also. As you can see, there's a bunch of florets coming in. I'll show you how much I get after. Here's the broccoli I got from the harvest just now. Not bad, about half a pie tin full. There's a little bit more inside in the fridge right now that I harvested, I think yesterday or the day before. But as you can see, there's still more growing, so I'll be able to pick some more off of it. I just use kitchen shears and cut them off. The broccoli is not as tightly packed as the store-bought kind, but it tastes just like broccoli from the store. It's really good. I like to steam it or saute them in a little bit of garlic, and it tastes really good. Today I'm going to start clearing the garden and weeding some. I'm going to take out these old tomato plants. As you can see, I already took out a couple of the branches, but I'll clear all the garden out and I'll show you an after photo or video. Should take me maybe a couple hours maybe, but I need to get some plants in the ground. So I finished a quarter of the garden, and I'm gonna break now, probably do a quarter of the garden every day, or maybe it's about a third. That took me about 40 minutes. I tried to get as many roots out as I could, but they'll probably, most of them or part of them will probably end up coming back. I used a shovel and just my hands with gloves on. Let's see, I'm leaving this plant here. I trimmed off all the dead ones, but you can see there's a little bit of green on those branches, so I'm really hoping that it'll come alive, and that'll enable me to transplant it, either take a clipping and transplant it into a hydroponic setup and get tomatoes in the next maybe 2 months, within the next 2 months, which will put me way ahead of schedule. The cardboard here is what I was using to put my knees on to keep them from getting dirty. It's just basic cardboard that I got. You might wonder what this little triangle looking thing is. That's a roof tile. I put that in there for toads and lizards. I have a bunch of lizards in this garden that like to come out, and they're doing good, so they're eating bugs and insects that I don't want in the garden, so that's kind of taking care of a problem for me. But so this is what it looks like now. I'll take another video tomorrow. I'm going to try and do a little bit every day, and eventually I'll finish the whole garden and have no more weeds left. Alright, here we go, day 2. Let's see how far I get. This is what it looks like right now. Alright, about 45 minutes later, we're about halfway done with the garden. As you can see, I still have some more to go. But I think that half was the worst half. So it should be downhill from here. It's probably another 2 days and I'll be done and the garden will be beautiful. Just cleaned off those garden steps, and man, it makes a difference. It's looking really nice. So I'm going to put plants along here, and then probably one here and here, potentially right there, if that tomato plant does not take off. But I figure at least a few squash plants. I bought some butter baby squash, so I figure put some in the back because they get pretty big, and my skin doesn't really like it when I touch them. The little pricklies on them kind of makes me itch. So I figured I'll put them away from the path over here. Hopefully it doesn't, sometimes it overgrows the steps, but hopefully that won't happen this year. Here we go, day 3. We've already finished about half. So I'm going to start on this part right here. Here's the before. About 50 minutes later on day 3. Almost done. I only have this little section over here left. So I'm doing about 40 to 50 minutes a day, and that's taking care of the problem pretty quickly. I don't like to do any more than that because I think if I did it all in one go, it'd take 3 to 4 hours, and my body would not like that. This way I only do a little bit every day, and it's not so bad. I feel like if I did a bunch, I'd probably be more inclined to never do it again. So if I just do a little bit at a time, you know, it's not so bad. And when I think about it, I'm like, oh, weeding's not that bad because I only do it for 40 minutes at a time and just knock it out slowly but surely. All right, day 4, last little bit. Let's see how long this little bit takes. So I finished the last bit in about 15 to 20 minutes. As you can see, I mowed the lawn yesterday, so I took the grass clippings and started to mulch in here so that the weeds won't grow back. Eventually I'll mulch all the way across and around the garden so that hopefully less weeds will come back. Garden looks really good. I figure I'll give you an update on everything. Garlic and onions are doing good. What's new in the garden is I'm planning a new hydroponics build. It's going to look something like this. It's just a rough cut of it. Either I'm going to take this exit pipe and put it over here or have it go over there, and I'm hoping to tap into one of those pumps so I don't have to get a new pump. But so I'm in the rough stages of planning that right now. I'll show you what the buckets look like with it drilled with a pipe and top basket on it. So I'll take you over there. Here's the other hydroponic system going. I have a couple of plants that I transplanted. One of them, they were all really small, but so they didn't really take. These two didn't really take, but this one's doing really well. It's a butter baby squash. Looks like this pepper plant's going to overwinter, which is nice. Still have some lettuce and cabbage growing. Here's some butter baby plants that I have. They're looking not too hot, but I just transplanted them all. They were all in this one little white container right here. So I took them out and I transplanted them all into their own cups, so they should really bounce back here pretty soon. It's starting to rain right now. So here's a mock-up of what those buckets are going to look like. I made a lid already. I cut a hole out with a Dremel and put the net cup basket in it. And I sanded it down to make it nice and smooth and fit nicely. And then I drilled a hole, sanded it out, put a rubber gasket in there, put a 1/2-inch pipe, elbow. Eventually I'm going to glue the elbow in and the down 1/2-inch pipe also. But I need to figure out where it's going to go and how much I need it to come out of the bucket and how much it needs to go down into the exit tube. So eventually I'll get to that. Here's the rest of my garden plants right now. Here's some of those tomatoes. I already transplanted 4 of them into 2 of the buckets over there. Here's a little pepper plant, one more pepper plant, and some squash, different kinds of zucchini, cucumber, all in there. So I'll transplant those soon. Here are those 4 plants that I transplanted. I just threw them in here to get them started. My plan is to take one of them out and put them in here to the cabbage when the cabbage is done. And same thing over here when that one's done, so that I'll have 4 tomato plants up here. Potatoes are doing well also. As you can see, they're growing nicely. Hope to have some nice potatoes in the future. that's my update on the garden. Thanks for watching. This is A to Z with Jay-Z. Please like and subscribe.